Hey guys, it's Randy here at etrailer.com. Now, trailer security is a really important topic for a lot of the customers that I work with on a regular basis. Basically, securing your trailer is going to protect your investment. It's going to make sure that it doesn't disappear if you have it in storage. You've got it parked outside at night. Maybe you're getting ready to go on a trip in the morning. You've got your stuff loaded up. Somebody hooks up to it and drives off with it. It can really ruin the whole situation. Basically, we're going to be taking a look at one of the more durable coupler locks that I've seen for a while. I've dealt with 30, 40 different coupler locks, and this one seems to be really, really well made. Now, locks are there for a deterrent. That's why we have them, and I definitely think this looks like the tougher one to get through. I think this is really going to deter a lot of people, and it'll protect your investment. It has a two-piece design. We've got an upper and a lower piece and a ball that's going to fit into your coupler. This is made to work with 2-inch and 2 5/16" couplers. Now, this coupler lock is very popular with a lot of different trailering type people, especially Airstream owners. They really seem to be kind of drawn towards this lock in protecting their investment. Other trailers that we've tried outside, we've tried several utility trailers and enclosed trailers. The 2 5/16" coupler that has that roll on the outside, which can be a challenge, this fit really well on. The utility trailers that have the U shape that go around the front, and then the thicker, wider latch that comes down, this fit right over top of. We didn't have any issues with that. So it's going to work in most applications. The only one we really ran into any struggles with are the marine style, surge style coupler. That one gave us a few issues, but everything else it seems to work really well on. Now, as far as construction goes, it's really nice, really durable material. And in most of the trailer applications I found, it's going to sit pretty much like this. So if this is what you experience, it's completely normal. So that's going to allow rain to get in here. As rain gets in here, they've got weep holes designed on each side. That's going to allow rain to go through that first rib in there, or a securing rib, and then out holes on each side here on the bottom. That's going to prevent any moisture buildup in there, any issues that might come up with our lock. Now, the lock's going to be located right here on the bottom. It's going to come with 2 keys. So we're going to get that in, rotate it. That allows us to remove that top section, and again, really nice thick material the entire way through. I really don't see any issues with this being deformed or anything like that, especially with just standard use. So when it comes down to it, I like this. I think it's going to be a very, very good deterrent. I like that it's constructed out of heavy duty steel. I like the powder coat finish on it. I think it'll last a long time. The two things I don't like about it: it's a really big, heavy lock. You'll have to have room to store it, keep it inside your truck or inside your trailer when not in use. And I also kind of don't like where that lock's located. I think being able to get in and underneath there and manipulate it while we've been doing it all day, it's just kind of annoying having to get up underneath there. Now, I know why they did it. It's reasonable. It makes it harder for thieves to get to it and do any kind of tampering or anything like that. And it's also going to keep it out of the elements. You don't have to worry about rain getting in there. You don't have to worry about a lot of dirt and debris falling down in it and settling in it, causing you issues when you operate it. The only thing I would kind of recommend to go along with this, if you're going to be doing long-term storage, if you're going to be like an open storage lot somewhere, or if you're in a higher crime type area, I would definitely pair this with the eTrailer wheel lock clamp. Essentially, that'll be a 2-piece clamp that'll come around your wheel. You can secure it, and it gives you an extra level of protection. If somebody came up and saw this, I think it would deter them. But if they really, really wanted it, and then they happen to see that other wheel lock as well, I think having 2 different things that they have to defeat, it's at least going to take them more time to get through it, increases their chances of getting caught. Hopefully they'll think about it and move on to somebody else. Now, as far as the installation goes, you'll want to get it set up for your coupler. That's really going to depend, one, on the ball size. We've got our 2-inch and also the 2 5/16" ball. And it's also going to depend on your coupler's design. So we're using the longer spacer here with the 2-inch ball. On some 2-inch couplers, if they're a little bit thicker on the top, like if they've got the latch that comes down and over, you're probably going to have to use the shorter spacer there to give us a little bit more room on top. We've also got the option here to move this forward just a little bit if we want it to be a little bit tighter, or we can move it back just a little bit. We can actually take a look at that process now. So we'll take that off. Loosen up our bolt here. I just had that hand tight. You will want to tighten that down just slightly. You'll need a 24mm or a crescent wrench for that matter to do that. Let me see, we take that down out of that hole, move it into this hole, and that's going to hold it in place. Prevents people from getting to it, being able to back it out. We can put our nut down and on, and that's just going to bring it into our coupler a little bit further. On the ball, you can see that rounded top, the flat bottom. We want the flat bottom to go down. We can bring that up and in, then we'll get our coupler latched. At that point, we just want to support the bottom, and we can add the top. Going to come down and in, use our key, get in there and lock it. So the idea with the different spacers, the different balls, and that different positioning for that bolt is essentially so we can get it on here as tight as possible. This would work in that bolt being in that rearward position, but we don't have to have it there. We can have it right here where it's up front, gets just a little bit closer. So I like the adaptability of it. I like being able to change those out to get you as secure of a fit as possible. The only real trailer coupler that we've seen thus far, now we haven't messed with every single one on the market, but the only one we've really dealt with thus far that this isn't going to work with is the square style surge couplers, the ones that slide back and in to the end of the trailer tongue. Now that's the only real one we had problems with, and that was basically just because it didn't allow the top to come down quite far enough for that lock to latch. Overall, I think this is going to be a really good deterrent. Like any lock out there, it's not fail-safe, and no lock ever will be. If you're in a higher crime area, maybe do this, do the etrailer wheel lock that we discussed earlier. That should give you two forms of protection on your trailer, turn your trailer into a harder target to get to. I definitely like it, save for that lock being on the bottom, which we discussed. But overall, it's definitely going to be a harder lock to bypass than a lot of the other ones out there on the market.